this is Dr. Bilek. These Mongolians name. Then you have another name.
Bilge.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, Dr. Bilge. So the graduate of 2019 from the Department of Land Management. Dr. Kishke, I'm going to use that version of your name. I'll give you opportunity later to say your full name when you do. And then, okay. And Dr. Bayarma. And like I said, they're from the Faculty of Ecology, and we have been sharing our experience with the GROW 6-month training, but also the master's program that we have now on curriculum and the content of the program. And that is what and also exchange. We also listening to what they have been doing. That helps us to reflect also back. Remember, we don't all have the answers for the solution. It's very much that you exchange and reflect and see the pros and cons and strengths. So then it's wonderful. And like I said, you met them on Monday.
Yes. Yes.
So and maybe afterwards, we have we'll leave some time for a chat, or you can follow up with questions. Okay. What else do I want to say? What does that mean? Are you taping me? Yeah. Clickering. Yeah. Maybe you should stand just close by when they start. Tell them where. Yeah. So like in the program, we said it would be a full day, but that's something we put in February when we had not really finalized. So as from maybe 11:30, you have time to work on your individual projects. We also needed that into the program. Because we are getting closer to the deadline. Yeah. What else can I tell you? Enjoy this weekend. According to the weather forecast, this is something that happens once in the blue moon in Iceland. Like the weather forecast. So please, when you finish with your 2 days work, go outside. Go downtown. There will be not only tourists, there will be Icelanders strolling around town, sitting in cafes, outdoor, or the green area, the park close by. The swimming pools will be crowded, but there's going to the pool on this day. So just make most of it, because I can't promise you this. You will see this kind of weather again, even though we are not in high summer yet. Yeah. Okay. This might be the high summer. This might be the high summer. This might be the summer, and then maybe there will be rain. Yeah, make most of it. Don't assume that this will be like this again. Oh, well, find a time to do that. Okay, do it outside. Taking your laptop, sitting in a park, and Okay, so what about you will start?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you're second. And this is Eva, our IT person, who's making sure this will be recorded. You can switch to the next slide here. So forwards and backwards. Okay. And there's also the point out. Here's Gail is going to start.
Thank you.
And we can hear you.
Yes.
And yeah. So this is the recording, the sound. The floor is yours. Take it away.
I'm now getting more stressed after floor is yours. So good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to me to stand in here and give a brief information about cooperation or communication. So it's for me, it's really a pleasure to meet with you and spreading out our networking on the world of nature restoration or restoration world, restoration activities. So I'm Khishigjargal, one of the lecturer of Ecology Department of Mongolian University of Life Science. So here today I will give you quite brief information, just communications for anything. So why we are in here, how can we work together? Maybe some information delivered to you about Mongolian University of Life Sciences. So here this is our university logo. As you see, the horses. So the horses is for Mongolians, our main symbol, and all Mongolians, they know horses and ride horses even from the childhood. So more or less Mongolia is nomadic culture country, as you know, and then horse is much more important animal in our history. So here I wanted to show you a little bit about the background information of Mongolia. And as you see here, Mongolia is the landlocked country in the Central Asia, in between China and Russia. As you see, it is a map. There is our state flag, and one of highlighting thing is Mongolia. If you visit in Mongolia someday, we can see quite modernized cities, glass, metal buildings, but together we can see those nomadic culture, livelihood in countryside. So both such kind of different livelihood culture we can see in Mongolian case. So that's that. And then also one of the famous thing related to Mongolia, of course, Genghis Khan, one of the famous empire during 1200 years era during 13th century. That was one of the biggest, strongest empire in the world. So here some of the text, you can see there some of the numbers, population numbers, capital cities, and how many of us live in a capital city in urban lifestyle, but how many of us live in the countryside in rural area as a herder, and as you see, and one interesting thing probably it is we have quite a lot of number of livestock. So probably you already get some more information related to grazing pressure, faster degradation related to those desertification and all, so on, all of those issues from yesterday's talks. And we have quite a lot of forest cover as well. And then these yellow boxes, you can see some of the number related to climate warming and increasing aridity issues. So more or less in our country, in a landlocked a higher elevation area, as you see, in not only in Mongolia, it is covering all of those Central Asia, including Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. So mean annual air temperature increases up to 2.46 degrees centigrade, which is far above the global average. So one of the hot point is here in Central Asia. Belonging to these, we got a lot of problem. We faced a lot of problem with increasing aridity, desertification, degradation, all of those ecosystems, and lots of problems. Also, there are some numbers, decreasing precipitation and increasing temperature, as well as changing the land surface. Somehow the number were suggested that 76.9% all of those territorial area somehow change it. That some of them much more degraded, some of them medium or light, or some. So, and you can see in the bottom those beautiful photos. It is illustrated the different kind of ecosystems in Mongolian countryside. Gobi desert, sand dunes, steppe grassland area, high mountain zones, and with glaciers and with snows, and forested area, of course, in the medium steppe grassland in between the different kind of eco zones. Totally in the northern part of the Mongolia is southern boundary of the Siberian taiga, and quite higher elevated forested, but from them into the southern part into the China's border, we got a desert. Gobi Desert, lots of sand dunes, much more less precipitation, like zone of precipitation up to 100 millimeter per year. So, which is totally desertification, natural desertification area. So different kind of eco zones we have in Mongolian case. So that's it about the background of Mongolia. And let me introduce about our university. So our university is one of state and oldest university in Mongolia. We have 6 state big university, and one of them is agriculture university, but it was changed the name since 2014, Mongolian University of Life Science, MULS. So it was established in 1942, and since that we have until now 83 years history. And as you can see, those numbers over there, the total alumni and also current student numbers, 6,280. And as you can see, their staff ratio to student numbers, 16:1. And those numbers is on there. And here is a message of our rector of Mongolian University of Life Science. He's an economy, and there is also if somebody interested to university information, there is a link and website link in the bottom part. And then just adding to that, we have 6 branch schools under this big university. And as you can see, those names in here, the branch schools, veterinary medicine, animal science and biotechnology, engineering and technology, agroecology, economics and business, and the branch school. We have one branch school that located in other city. And as you see, this yellow box is agroecology school. One of the schools that focused on horticulture, agriculture, and land management, as well as environmental ecology issues. So we came from this school. And there you can see those red dots. That shows us our international communication countries, not the university numbers, but the countries. So that's why here in Europe, well, country by country, there is a lot of red dots, but somehow in this internet, there are quite few number of, it seems, but the number of the country, then it shows like this. And that's it. And moving to our branch school. Our branch school has 4 departments. Land management, Hubilge comes from land management department, and ecology department. Bayerma and me, we come from ecology department, and we have 2 more departments, agronomy and soil science, horticulture, forestry, landscape architecture, and 4. So we have quite a lot of number of international cooperation with universities. So there is some of the university logos. As you can see, we have quite long cooperation with Iceland Agriculture University, Jiralarte program, and also in Japan, Korea, especially related to horticulture, agriculture side field. We have quite good cooperation with Korea, South Korea, and Japan, and other universities, of course. So in total, we have at the undergraduate program, 17 programs, different kind of programs we have running. And after graduate programs like master, we have 14 of them, and doctoral program, we have 5 of them. So quite broad, big programs running on there. And currently we have 1,500 students and 80 lecturers and researchers working on these. Photo shows that our main old building of Mongolian University of Life Science. Okay, so what we wanted to do, the interest, cooperation interest, maybe in the future we can work together somewhere, someday. So it can be divided into those 4 parts, as you see. And capacity building, everywhere we need to improve our capacity building, to improve our lecturers' capacity to teach, And in this case, we would like to cooperate with GRLRT and exchanges, guest lecturers, scientists, and student exchanges for anything. And then innovation and technology transfers, probably in this part, we can work in share each other some other informations. Tree breeding, agroforestry activities, and just remote sensing based updated new modern methods, applications, of course, and soil related research and joint research projects. Especially we are focusing on repairing our watershed restoration issues. That is one of the hot point in our case. Probably you guys got some information from yesterday's presentation, because in our country case, lot of number of livestock and huge browsing damage everywhere, especially in water point, related to a water point or river shore riparian area. Those areas are totally degraded. So all of those international organizations, institutes, projects, they are focusing on, in Central Asian case, riparian watershed. How can we protect them? How can we stable them under these strict desertification or degradation? So that's one of the hot point. If anyone has really good practices to work on that, maybe it would be wonderful to share us your own experiences, practices, and advices. So that's one of hot point. And curriculum development and benchmarking issues is more university activity, but related to this, we are now in here, we're working several days to learning each other, like master restoration program. How can we develop in our master restoration program? Now we are working with wonderful team of University of Agriculture University of Iceland and GRLRT team. So, and just move to some of the work experiences to Icelandic amazing research team. So in Mongolia, we have organized 2 times before Corona. We have organized 2 times short-term training course, like our lecturers from here to visit in Mongolia, and 7 to 10 days we organized short-term training courses 2 times, and this training course was organized in 2018 and 2019. So this is more or less focused on medium-level managers, like land managers or managers in the medium level. But in upper level people, the decision makers, they need all of those numbers and analyzing raw information. But in ground level, the herders and local people, and in between them, the medium level managers, they are really important. Their capacity is really important. That's why we were organized these short-term training courses named on communicating knowledge for sustainable rangeland management under climate change, improving analytic reporting skills. So which is much more important training courses organized in Mongolia 2 times, really valuable. As you see, we have really active indoor classes, different kind of classes, and then outdoor trainings and practical trainings, working by group or in other different kind of rangeland, forest, riparian, different kind of regions we were working. That was successfully organized, and all of those handouts, all of those programs were developed together with GRLRT scientists and researchers. That was one of the wonderful highlighting training organized in Mongolian case. As you see those photos, some of them maybe you can see Biriglind, Isabel, and also Kirsten were there. Okay. And that's one successful cooperation between MOLS and Mongolian side and then GRLRT, and as you know, in all of GRLRT fellows. So I would say one number. So from Mongolia, in total, 33 people participated in a program, but from them, around 12 of them more or less related to Mongolian University of Life Sciences. So lecturers, researchers, they were participated in training program. And I wanted to show you somehow examples from our university, some of the young lecturers, researchers who participated in here, and what happens when they return back. So first of all, always lecturers, researchers, they participated in here. They, in my observation, they got really broad knowledge, because like agronomy person came in here, he knows really specialized, really professionalized agronomy, but not ecology, restoration, and then so on. But in here, they were participated. Then they got quite broad knowledge, really nicely. That's one of highlighting point. I can say that. And there is one of the fellow Sancho Amersna from ecology department. He was participated in here and then returned back. He done his PhD study under this topic, effects of land use on desert steppe vegetation. So in 2025, so successfully. As you see here, he was published those peer-reviewed articles. Even our former fellows who participated in GRLRT program, they working together and publishing articles. As you see, Bilge and Sancholo, they were working together and then published those articles. So that, which is wonderful. And also one of the fellow from land management department, Irten Toya, she's one of exceptional young lecturer of this land management department. And now she's studied at Poland as a PhD student, and her topic is thesis topic is developing a remote sensing method to assess habitat suitability for large-scale afforestation in northern Mongolia. So which area is really suitable to plant trees? Because we already established and announced and started billion tree program. And I know the Kyrgyzstan, they're also 3 billion trees program. Kazakhstan, I mix it up. They everywhere. And this is one of the important topic she's working now, and her skill is totally improved, and her presentations and participations in international level getting up, distinguished after this participation. So that's the example. And from last year, Turo, he's the only person from agronomy department to join in field GRLRT. And after he returned back and in his department, and then his department's agronomy department's activities getting up. There are some international collaborations, some small level projects is running now, and his research topic his research topic is to running some experiments under this shelter belt plantation. And also there are some of PhD students, they were working under this shelter belt to introduce medical and rare plants and so on. So everything is really works after this participation, I would say that using those examples and related to ecology restoration or restoration practices and examples, activities, we can summarize that we have a kind of those kind of experiments running out, rare and endangered and useful plants. Introduction is really going on, and in one side, in other side, there are a huge highlighting part related to mining restoration. So in our case, we have rangeland restoration issue related to livestock grazing, and also mining restoration issue because of lot of mining activity, and also those endangered, rare, useful plant introduction to planting and prepare seeds, like we will see in Gunnershot on Monday. Yeah, so it can be divided into those parts. And oh yes, I have three more examples. Dr. Atno, she just finished her PhD thesis in last December. Her topic is, you see those blue written down, assessment of the rangeland health state and its shifts based on the recovery. So her thesis is one of the exceptional highlighting thesis that from last year in Agriculture University. So she comes from the Darkhan Branch School from University of Life Science, and now she's dealing with all of those mining restoration activities. She's really dealing with a totally degraded land to how to restore in our dry condition, in our case. So her example, her study is one of the exceptional unique study in Mongolian case, and also one of the fellow who was a young lecturer of biotechnology school, animal science and biotechnology school. She, after participation, she went to the Hungary, and her thesis topic is there related to tomato phytochemical physiological study and so on. And here, the last one, I want to highlight Bira. We call it Bira. So he was one of our first graduate student ecological restoration in our university, in our department. He was the first student did his bachelor. And after he participated in here in Girollerty, and then he was applied to UK as an international master, and he got the international master degree, international environmental policy governance related. So now he returned back and worked at the international institutes. A huge development, which is a nice example I wanted to show here. And that's it. And the final one in here, I would like to mention, already I mentioned all those activities, but my summarizing or concluding remark, let's say, so here we have spending many time and working, studying together. So this is unique and valuable training courses. And it is already building up those profession with broad knowledge. And those trees spreading out, and then those seeds will be delivered in our countries, different kind of countries. So in Mongolian case, it's really clear. People, they obtained knowledge and skills really well, quite broad, not only forestry, not only mining, or not only soil, but all of them together. So then these trees getting more bigger and bigger and giving seeds and new saplings in our countries. So main concluding mark from my side, so we will plant a seed in our countries, and also we will building up our restoration network in the worldwide. So in Mongolian case, our fellows and our researchers, all of those participants, they already established a network. So this network will be spreading out and then building up this restoration world. So more or less, we already face all those problems, but restoration work, we have to establish systematically and strongly within those young people all together. That would be one of the wonderful, good opportunity we all are sitting in here. So I wish you all of those nice successes and a good role model. You will be good role model on restoration world in worldwide. And this is the now the fundament of these sprouting seeds. It's pleasure to me. Okay, that's it. Here is my email address. I'm a forestry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation that really captures, the layered, both entry points into the GrowLT and also the impact, right? And here we have from a university in Mongolia, and Mongolia has a really rich research tradition, right? And how the fellows have been here and the cooperation, what they have been able to make most of it, of the participation. And often where it leads to a PhD and a career as a researcher and academic, right? But also through that, you see how they train. Also people who are working in the field, like these short courses. And maybe I know it's a tradition in many African countries, if you're a faculty, you're supposed to go out there and in the field and train. But let me tell you, it's not necessarily the case in Europe. Often the criticism of European academics is like they're in the ivory tower, but me as a director of GrowLT, I'm always asking my question about impact. Like you probably heard, I have asked you when you come with a project idea. So what does it mean when you come back home? I know on a personal level, individual level, all your projects will be really useful, but I'm also thinking, few steps ahead, and your presentation captured this really nicely.
Thank you very much.
And maybe because I not really thought about Bira, who came here in 2022. The last one who did not go on and do a PhD. He came from
master.
Yeah,
master.
He did a master because he did a master in environmental policy. And that is also an example of how this training program opened up a new perspective for him. Right? He said, okay, my training was quite research focused, but now I'm thinking like in policy, and and then he used the GrowLT as a kind of springboard to switch the focus in his own professional development. And today he is back in Mongolia and he is working in with that American funded.
Yes, Millennium. I couldn't remember the exact name, but one of the American international organization.
Yes, international donor.
Yes,
really. So he's there. And I know we've kind of witnessed here in 2022 where he kind of had a whole new perspective of, how can you as a professional have impact on restoration? Research is great and teaching is great, but there are also other ways.
Yep.
Do you have questions? Yes.
No question. Okay.
I would like to have only one partner in Africa. You have some issues in establishing a partnership with African institution or
Okay, I got this map from international Egypt or Ethiopia. I can't answer really well, but maybe the international affairs they didn't update recently with this cooperation. But personally, from my department, at least we have 2 universities from Africa. We have quite good cooperation, so not yet to point it out there. So maybe they couldn't update.
But can you then tell us?
Yeah. From Ethiopia, and another one is in Tanzania. Yeah.
There's an opportunity for the rest of you here.
And from African,
from Tanzania, no one from Ethiopia here today. So.
African countries, we would like to learn those exceptional agroforestry practices. Because in a Mongolian case, related to this billion tree program or those forestation issues, now we are really discussing about talking about agroforestry. But as far I know, those some of the countries' agroforestry experiences is quite unique and really useful because we have same dry condition, quite degraded, and but they have quite good more experience with their soil EPO reports. So if there are any good suggestions, I will be receive. Happy to receive.
So again, thank you for your presentation. I'd like to ask about again follow up your impact of your research in decision making at the political level. So you did so far a lot of research regarding land management, and I would like to know impact decision making at the political level.
To upper level.
How they perceive your
I think it is if for the good policy decision-making issues, it is always all countries there is a problem, of course, the problem and the issues. But in our case, for good policy decision-making process, we need good assessment, good numbers, good facts, and everything in the ground needs to more qualified. So for qualified information, qualified analysis, qualified assessments, for everything, for that we need good broad knowledge to understand on processes. So for that, all of LRT capacity and knowledges for everything we base it on those. Then based on those good broad knowledge and skills, then to deliver all of those reports, numbers, assessments, and current situations, then they will make a good policy decision. So somehow it is quite slowly, also region by region, it is different and not really strictly but somehow it works. It works, especially in our countries, in Central Asian countries. As we know, we have lot of influences from policy parties, and then working now. Yeah.
There is
yes.
rich tradition of research in
Yes.
Mongolia, a lot of data collection.
Mhm.
Right.
One of good side is we have good network, as you see yesterday from Bolgama's classes, and good network, good informations, good databases for anything. But yeah.
Yeah.
Good question anyway.
Question: how do you make sure that translates into good policy?
Mhm.
At least you are producing the knowledge, right?
At least.
Yeah.
At least,
it's,
yes.
um,
The problem is in upper level, our restoration people or our researchers couldn't work on there. We don't work on there. And there's some people work, but without any knowledge, without anything. And then in between them, there is a gap in my personal observation.
Yes. Very impressive.
Thank you.
I would like to know how did you initiate the collaboration of bringing all the alumni together in your country? Was it through a government initiative? Because I think, as far as I know, it's just maybe Mongolia and perhaps shedding some light, and I think Uganda. That is very well.
okay. Maybe I should start
Yeah.
here. Of course, the numbers are, there's so many in Mongolia. So even, within Bulls, you are
Mhm.
12, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they even have a little group, right? And then like 37 altogether, it will be 40 at the, end of August. And maybe the helps also Mongolia is not that big. So they kind of know each other, the population, in the smaller countries. We know it in Iceland, everybody knows everybody, or, people who are doing the similar work as you do. So that it kind of comes easily. We have left it to fellows, if they want to form alumni network, and I know our cohorts stay in touch, and maybe in some cases on a country level as well. That being said, I know Grow Center is now kind of promoting or more supporting formal establishment of alumni networks. And then in each country, for all 4 programs, or in case of Mongolia, there will only be but just 3 programs because they are not in fisheries, right? So they have now guidelines on the website, and we kind of, I think we tried with Uganda as a kind of pilot, really to kind of reach out to fellows, former fellows, to say, if you're interested, please. And there have been events there. So, but that is just to start somewhere, try that. And I think now in June, there's someone coming from the embassy, the Atlantic Embassy in Beijing, who is covering Mongolia. They also want to use the opportunity to call all Grow, not only LFT, but Grow fellows together, and the same kind of suggesting, encourage that will formalize or, the net. So it's both on an informal basis, but has maybe to do with the numbers in Mongolia, that they kind of are like all working in the same university, but they're all working in the same sector, so they know each other, the paths cross. And what I've also noticed, came clear when I visited in January, that our former fellows in different government organizations, NGOs, or university are working together, reaching out to each other.
It work really good network establishing.
Yeah, like someone with background in soil science to engage them in a project. We need soil scientists in that moment, and that's wonderful. But that's very much they decided themselves, right? So it's not the Grow or Grow LFT say, hey, you have to work together, or the government or ministry saying, hey, you have to get it. You see the opportunity in it. And it is kind of kindred spirit, like they say, they think in the same way as we do, or the mindset, or right? So they're kind of attracted to quite an attractive possibility option to work together. Does that answer your question? We have the numbers also with us in Malawi.
Yeah.
For both through our program, the fisheries and gender, and there are some also for geothermal.
Yes.
Yeah, and then since we're on that topic, Team Kenya, although you are now only 5 been through this program, I don't know how many have been through the geothermal program. That is the greatest number of country cohorts in the geothermal training program. And there are some also through fisheries, and there are also from. So I think, Kenya is really scoring high, in the growth statistics. But very much thanks to the geothermal training, because that goes way back and all the numbers. And the development of geothermal energy in Kenya is very much linked to the geothermal training program here in Iceland. And of course, if we want something to happen, be proactive. Someone has to be proactive to get things off the ground. So Makshan, I'm counting on you. Okay, anyone else before we close this part of this morning session? Questions, thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah, the academic in the group.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's meet outside.
Sure.
To discuss.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Actually, when it comes to the collaboration aspect, this is something I've been thinking about, but I've just seen a real example. I've seen that it actually can be done. Then I'm very much motivated by what we've done. And then, as my colleague mentioned, we didn't see a lot of collaboration in Africa. And then through my institution, University for Development Study, maybe Ghana can be put on the map. You could collaborate, and then I look forward to that too. Yeah, so basically, I really much appreciate what we've done, and then it's a great motivation to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.